Think COVID is behind us. Just a thing of the past. Reality tells a different story. In recent weeks, hospitals across the U.S. have reported a sharp rise in new COVID cases, especially among adults over 60. The culprit, NB.1.8.1, a new subvariant of Omicron now spreading rapidly in states like California, New York, and Washington. According to the CDC, hospitalizations among seniors have jumped 17% in just a matter of weeks. But here's what's truly alarming. Many patients aren't dying from respiratory failure, but from strokes, heart attacks, and heart failure. And all of it is happening after they've recovered from COVID. You might feel fine, no cough, no fever. But that doesn't mean the virus hasn't left its mark. COVID can quietly damage your cardiovascular system, especially in older adults. Many only realize something's wrong when it's too late, when they feel wiped out, experience chest pain, or collapse without warning. COVID in 2025 isn't just a seasonal flu. It's a silent threat to the heart, especially in those with pre-existing conditions or age-related vulnerability. And if you're over 60 or care for someone who is, this isn't a message you can afford to ignore, because COVID isn't just a respiratory disease anymore. For seniors, SARS-CoV-2 can cause serious lasting damage to the heart, and that's what's truly claiming lives after recovery. Once inside the body, this virus doesn't stop at the lungs. It targets the endothelial lining of blood vessels, the layer responsible for regulating blood flow throughout the body. The immune system fights back, but in older adults, this immune response can spiral out of control, triggering widespread inflammation. At that point, the heart is forced to work harder under dangerous conditions, dealing not only with inflammation, but also abnormal clotting and blood clots, which can lead to heart attacks or strokes. Even more concerning, COVID can cause myocarditis, inflammation of the heart muscle itself. This weakens the heart's ability to pump blood, eventually leading to heart failure. What makes it so dangerous is that these injuries don't always show up right away. They often linger silently for weeks or even months after infection. A study published in Nature Medicine revealed that people who had COVID faced a 63% higher risk of heart attacks and a 55% higher risk of strokes within the 12 months following recovery. These aren't just statistics, they're life or death warnings. The real danger. Many older adults feel fine after getting over COVID, unaware that their heart is quietly weakening every day. And if that damage goes undetected for too long, the consequences could become irreversible. When it comes to post-COVID complications, not everyone is affected the same way. But there's one group that nearly all major studies and health organizations agree is at the highest risk: adults over 60. Why? First, aging fundamentally changes the structure of the heart and blood vessels. Arteries become stiffer and less elastic. The heart muscle loses strength and the valves no longer function as efficiently. These are natural parts of aging, but they also create the exact weaknesses that COVID exploits. When inflammation or blockages occur in these compromised vessels, a weakened heart simply can't keep up. It doesn't have the reserve power to compensate. Second, older adults often live with chronic conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, kidney disease, or a history of heart problems. COVID doesn't just aggravate these issues. It can trigger a chain reaction of complications, making treatment far more complex and risky. And finally, and this is something I see all the time in my clinic, older adults tend to downplay their symptoms. They assume fatigue is just aging. Chest pain is from bad posture, dizziness must be poor circulation. But if any of these symptoms appear after COVID, they could be warning signs that the heart is struggling. If you're over 60 and have had COVID, You are not the same as a younger patient. Your body doesn't bounce back as quickly, and your heart, if left unchecked, may be the first to fail without warning. After recovering from COVID, many adults over 60 report feeling more tired or weaker than before, but most chalk it up to age. In reality, some symptoms that seem ordinary could actually be early warning signs that the heart is in trouble. A heart attack rarely comes out of nowhere. It often starts with small, subtle changes. You might feel a slight pressure in your chest, like something heavy is pressing down, especially when climbing stairs or carrying groceries. It's not always sharp or intense, which makes it easy to overlook. Shortness of breath is another common sign. You might feel winded while talking, struggle to breathe lying down, or have to stop during a short walk just to catch your breath. Unusual heart palpitations or a racing heartbeat, especially at rest, shouldn't be ignored. These can be early signs of arrhythmia or myocarditis triggered by COVID. Some people experience persistent fatigue that doesn't improve with sleep or nutrition. Others report dizziness, nausea, or cold sweats, mistaking them for a minor flu or low blood pressure. Most critically, if you feel pain or numbness radiating from your left shoulder down the arm, or discomfort in the jaw, neck, or upper back, do not ignore it. These are classic symptoms of a heart attack, and they demand immediate attention. If you have had COVID and are experiencing one or more of the symptoms mentioned above, you should see a cardiologist as soon as possible. Early diagnosis is your opportunity to protect your heart and your life. After recovering from COVID, what matters is not forgetting everything, but closely monitoring your body, especially your heart. People over 60 need to be more proactive than anyone else in preventing the risk of post-COVID heart attacks. The first thing to do is to have regular heart checkups. Within 3 to 6 months after recovery, visit a doctor to get an electrocardiogram troponin test, CRP test D, dimer test, or a heart ultrasound if needed. These indicators help detect early myocarditis or the risk of blood clots, the leading causes of heart attacks. In addition, lifestyle changes are necessary to help the heart recover and regain its strength. Reduce salt in your meals. Limit processed foods and fried items, and increase your intake of vegetables, whole grains, fatty fish, and foods rich in omega-3. Drink enough water daily, especially in the morning, when blood is more prone to thickening. Do light exercise every day for 20 to 30 minutes, such as walking, deep breathing, or yoga, to help the heart function steadily. Avoid overexertion or heavy workouts if your body is still weak after COVID. If prescribed by your doctor, get vaccinated against COVID, especially for the new variants to reduce the risk of severe reinfection and heart complications. Don't forget your flu shot, either as being infected with both viruses at once can cause more serious damage to the heart. Finally, listen to your body every day. Every unusual bout of fatigue, every episode of rapid heartbeat, every heavier breath could all be warnings. By being proactive today, you may avoid serious consequences tomorrow. As a doctor who regularly monitors elderly patients after COVID, I want to offer you this sincere message. The heart after age 60 no longer has the strength to endure carelessness, not even once more. I have seen many patients who seem to have fully recovered after contracting COVID. No cough, no fever, no fatigue. But just a few months later, when they began to feel slight palpitations, aching in the left shoulder, or trouble sleeping, their hearts had already suffered silent damage long before. Many came to the hospital too late, simply because they thought chest tightness was indigestion, dizziness was poor circulation to the brain, or fatigue was just lack of sleep. But when we examined them, we found they were facing the risk of a heart attack. Some had already sustained permanent heart damage. The heart doesn't always scream when it's in danger. It often whispers through small signs, and if you're willing to listen, you may be able to prevent a serious event. My advice to you is this. If you've had COVID, especially if you're over 60, don't ignore any change in your body. Even if it's just lingering fatigue, a slightly faster heartbeat than usual, or mild chest discomfort when exerting yourself. Seeing a doctor is never unnecessary. Listening to medical advice is never too early. When it comes to the heart, every timely action could be what saves you from an unwanted ending. COVID may have passed with only mild symptoms, but for those over 60, what the virus leaves behind isn't just in the lungs, it lingers silently in the heart, where even the smallest malfunction can lead to serious consequences. We cannot ignore the numbers. Rates of heart attacks, strokes, and cardiovascular deaths have increased significantly among those who had COVID, and most of them at first believed they were fine. If you've had COVID, or if your parents or elderly loved ones have had it, share this article with them. Encourage them to see a cardiologist, even if it's just to be sure. One simple checkup today could mean decades of healthy life ahead. Take charge. Eat more healthfully. Exercise in moderation. Sleep well and reduce stress. Give your heart the chance to recover. If your doctor recommends a booster, don't delay. If you notice anything unusual in your heartbeat or breathing, act immediately. And if you've made it this far in the article, it means you truly care about your health. Don't stop at reading, take action. Book a medical checkup, share this message with someone you love, or simply stand up, take a short walk, breathe deeply, and thank your heart for still beating just for you. Protect it before it stops without warning.